Hello, everybody. In today's podcast, we are going to continue with our analysis of some of the advices from Imam al-Ghazali from his book, The Beginning of Guidance. And we have been speaking about the avoidance of sins of the tongue. And now we are going to analyze specifically the section that deals with jesting, ridiculing, and scoffing at people. And without further delay, I will just quote directly from the book as Imam al-Ghazali says the following. Guard your tongue from that, meaning jesting, ridiculing, and scoffing at people. He says, guard your tongue from that, whether in earnest or in play. It disturbs your reputation, as water in a pool is disturbed by a stone, destroys respect, induces isolation, and harms the heart. It is the source of contumacy, anger, and estrangement, and implants rancor in men's hearts. Do not associate with anyone in jesting, even if they try to associate you in their jests. Do not reply to them, but turn away from them until they talk about something else. Be one of those who, if they pass some idle joking, pass on them with dignity. And I love so much this last ending phrase, how the Sheikh explains, how to deal with these people that I have encountered them, and I'm sure that you have encountered them too. These are the group of, for example, guys that we see sometimes sitting in a corner. They have nothing to do, neither anything to learn, but they're just wasting their time. Like some people say, killing the time. And therefore, if you have nothing to say and you are learning anything, you will simply talk nonsense. Therefore, you will start making jokes that sometimes are even bad jokes and with a content or is not even appropriate. Therefore, it will damage the heart. And that's what Imam al-Ghazali is saying. This harms the heart, destroys respect, because these are people who are always joking, people who are always playing, and they're just trying to be funny, comical, and laughing without any seriousness, without any respect. And what can you expect from a group of people like this? There's nothing to learn from that. On the contrary, like I said, sometimes these people are not even encouraging you to do the right things, or to do what is expected, or to teach you something. They're just speaking whatever ill is in the heart of man, because someone who has something to do will not waste their time neither joking like this. And we are talking specifically about this case. I'm not talking about someone who makes a joke and laugh, or no. We're talking about people who their job is basically this one: always jesting, always ridiculing someone else, always scoffing at people and making fun of people, making fun of other individuals. And like Imam al-Ghazali says, do not associate with these people. And sometimes they even try to be funny with you. Don't laugh at their jokes. On the contrary, move away. Don't even sit next to such individuals, and turn away until they talk about something else. And I love this ending phrase when he says, be one of those who, if they pass some idle joking, pass on with dignity. That's amazing, and I really love this ending because it shows so much about your character if you behave in this way. If you show them that you are not like them, that you have nothing to share regarding this kind of jesting, which is not right. This is something that disturbs your reputation, destroys respect. And a man must have dignity. A man must have seriousness. There's a time for laughing. There's a time for seriousness, yes. But again, we are emphasizing the group of people that most of the time that you see them with this kind of behavior. And Imam al-Ghazali continues with the following. This much about the various defects of the tongue. Nothing helps you against it except retirement and the preservation of silence wherever possible. Abu Bakr, the upright, may God be pleased with him, placed a stone in his mouth to prevent himself speaking except when necessary. He used to point to his tongue and say, "This is what has brought all my troubles upon me. Guard against it, for it is the chief cause of your destruction in this world and in the next." And it's such an amazing advice for all of us, how to not only how to deal with these kind of people who have this behavior and how ourselves avoid such sin, but also how to fix and how to correct ourselves. Like he says, it's better to remain silent and just speak whenever they ask you to speak. And it's important to be serious. It's important to keep your tongue under control, because as we have mentioned in previous podcasts, the tongue could be a word, could be healing, but sometimes the word that you say with your tongue could be a destruction for yourself and for someone else. Therefore, we have to watch out the things that we say with our tongue. And the example of Abu Bakr is also another great example. And you can see like some people even take strict measures. You might think Abu Bakr with this behavior, such a great and upright man. Yeah, even he who was such a great individual with such a great reputation, he knew himself, so he worked on himself. How much more us in our days, when we see how the morality and society has been more and more every day is more corruption and deterioration of principles, ethics, less and less religious people. Therefore, we see how much people can damage with their words on social media, on Twitter, uh, you name it. Today, you don't need to go out of your house. Just grab your phone, send a text, send a Twitter, and you will be creating a fire. Or you could use it for the proper thing, for healing, for encouragement, for bringing good content to uplift the people, and bring in something good to the world and to yourself. Because if you're immersed in such a wonderful work, then you will be also working on your character. But if you're wasting your time like these people who are always jesting and joking and trying to be funny and comical, these people have no self-respect. You run away from these people as if you're running from a lion. I want to thank you so much for listening to this podcast. As always, as I say, if you have something else to add, you're welcome to leave a comment, like the video, share it with your friends, relatives, and God willing, we'll see each other in the next video or podcast, in which we are going to continue with more topics regarding Islam, Islamic philosophy, Islamic history, and much more about the teachings of Imam al-Ghazali, who is clearly my favorite, and his teachings are still very, very valid for our days. Thank you so much, and we'll see each other in the next podcast.